Today, we're talking about something everyone faces at some point: how to handle difficult people smartly. These situations can happen anywhere, with a challenging customer, a demanding boss, or even someone in your personal life. But what makes it even harder is when you're trying to navigate these interactions in English, especially if it's not your first language. In this episode, I'll share practical strategies for managing these situations calmly and confidently, even when the pressure is high. I'll also tell you 2 personal stories, one about a frustrated customer at a bookstore, and another about dealing with a demanding boss. Plus, I'll share how I've navigated those moments when emotions took over, my throat tightened, and I felt like crying.
Hi everyone, we're the Shirfa sisters from Malaysia. Azima, Amna, and me, Aisha, hosts of the My English Matters podcast. After spending 8 years in the UK as children, we know the importance of mastering a second language, so we created MyEnglishMatters.com as a platform to help second language learners learn to speak, write, and communicate in English with confidence through our online courses, classes, and workshops. To join our free course called Speaking with Confidence and get the latest updates about our programs, subscribe to our email list at MyEnglishMatters.com. And now, without further ado, let's get started.
Hello and welcome to the My English Matters podcast. I'm your host for this episode, Aida, from My English Matters Customer Support, and I take care of students' queries through Facebook, Instagram DMs, and emails. Today, we're talking about something everyone faces at some point: how to handle difficult people smartly. These situations can happen anywhere, with a challenging customer, a demanding boss, or even someone in your personal life. But what makes it even harder is when you're trying to navigate these interactions in English, especially if it's not your first language. In this episode, I'll share practical strategies for managing these situations calmly and confidently, even when the pressure is high. Let's dive in. Let's start by understanding why interacting with difficult people can feel so overwhelming, especially when we're speaking English. Often their behavior is a reflection of their own struggles, stress, insecurity, or personal challenges. Recognizing this doesn't excuse their actions, but it can help you approach the situation with empathy rather than frustration. For example, a demanding boss might be acting out of pressure to meet deadlines, or an angry customer could be taking out frustrations that have nothing to do with you. The key is to separate the person's behavior from your personal emotions so that you can respond thoughtfully. That said, when someone yells at us, criticizes us, or behaves unfairly, it's natural to feel a physical reaction. You might feel a lump in your throat, your chest tighten, or your heart start racing. For many of us, this can trigger the urge to cry or even cause us to stutter because we're so overwhelmed with emotion. This can feel even more challenging when you're trying to speak in English. You might worry about your pronunciation, grammar, or whether you're using the right words. The added pressure, along with feeling shocked or caught off guard, can make it even harder to think clearly and respond appropriately. The first thing to remember is this: it's normal to feel emotional. Just do not let your emotions take over. You can stay calm by taking deep breaths, because when you slow down your breathing, your heart rate decreases and you can focus on what you need to say instead of letting your emotions overcome you. By approaching the situation with a clear mind, you'll be better equipped to navigate even the most challenging interactions. Do you remember what it felt like the first time you dealt with an angry person at work? For me, it was when I worked in a bookstore. I was 19 at the time and it was my first week on the job, so I was still figuring things out. One day, a customer walked in looking for a book that wasn't in stock. When I told them that it was not in stock, they got really upset and started raising their voice. They said, "What do you mean it's not in stock? Do you even know how to do your job? How do you call this a bookstore?" I panicked. I stuttered and said, "I'm sorry. I am so sorry. I'm so sorry." I feel like I apologized more times than I can count. and I could feel a lump in my throat. My heart was racing, and I really didn't know what to say to calm them down. It was overwhelming, not just because of their frustration, but because I felt so unprepared to handle the situation. Thankfully, my supervisor stepped in. He approached the customer calmly and said something like, "I understand how frustrating this must be. Let me see how we can help." He then listened to the customer, acknowledged their feelings, and focused on finding a solution. Within a few minutes, the customer was calm, and the situation was under control. Watching my supervisor got things under control was eye-opening. Afterwards, I went to the office and, well, I cried a little. My supervisor found me and he gently reassured me. He said, "It's okay to feel emotional. Just breathe and take it one step at a time. Come back outside whenever you're ready." Remembering how he reassured me was truly inspiring. I felt better almost immediately and went back to work with a fresh perspective. He showed me that maintaining calm and composure, not just for the customer, but also for my own well-being, is essential in navigating these situations effectively. Looking back, I realized my supervisor wasn't just handling an angry customer that day. He was also managing me, an emotional and overwhelmed staff member. It also taught me that managing difficult people isn't just about resolving their issues, it's also about supporting those around you to stay composed and effective. It's a lesson in empathy and resilience that I've carried with me ever since. Now, let me share another story, this time from a different workplace, about a demanding boss. This particular boss was extremely critical. He would micromanage tasks and often point out mistakes in front of others. His words could really cut deep sometimes, creating an atmosphere that was tense and discouraging. One day, during a particularly stressful meeting, he criticized my work harshly. I felt my throat tighten, and in my head, a perfect sarcastic comeback was ready. But I swallowed the words along with my pride. Instead, I focused on my breathing and reminded myself to stay calm and employed, just like what I had learned from my earlier experience. Afterwards, I asked for a private meeting with him. I said, "I want to do my best work and meet your expectations. Could we discuss how I can improve moving forward?" To my surprise, he responded positively. It wasn't easy at that moment to approach him, but staying calm and using clear, respectful language helped turn a tense situation into a constructive one. This taught me two important things. One, difficult people often act out because of their own stress or insecurities. Two, you don't have to match their tone or energy. You can stay composed and focus on finding solutions. Now that I've shared my experiences, here are some strategies to help you handle difficult people and manage your own emotions while speaking English under pressure. Number 1, breathe and slow down. When someone is being difficult, your body's natural response is to panic. Take a deep breath, pause for a moment, and focus on slowing down your speech. This helps calm your nerves and makes it easier to communicate clearly. Number 2, acknowledge their feelings. Acknowledging the other person's emotions doesn't mean you agree with them. It simply shows that you understand their perspective. For example, you can say, "I understand why this is upsetting." Or you can say, "I can see where you're coming from." Number 3, speak clearly and confidently. Even if English isn't your first language, focus on speaking clearly. Don't worry about perfect grammar, perfect words, or pronunciation. What matters is that you communicate effectively. Slow down and do not rush. Number 4, set boundaries respectfully. If someone's behavior becomes aggressive or too disrespectful, it's okay to set boundaries. You should protect your dignity while still maintaining the relationship. For instance, if your colleague is criticizing you in a harsh tone in public, you can say, I understand this is important. Would it be alright if we discuss this privately at a more suitable time? Or you can say, I respect your opinion. I think I'll be able to respond better if we revisit this in a one-on-one discussion. If it's your boss who is pushing you for an immediate response under a lot of stress, you can try asking for more time by saying, I hear that this is urgent. May I clarify a few things quickly so I can deliver exactly what you need? In situations like these, it's helpful to stay calm. Use respectful language and carry yourself with professionalism. Number 5. Focus on solutions, not problems. Redirecting the conversation towards solutions can shift the dynamic. For example, when I was overwhelmed by the angry customer at the bookstore, my supervisor stepped in and calmly offered alternatives to help the customer. Watching him focus on solutions rather than dwelling on the tension taught me how powerful staying composed can be in resolving conflicts. You can do the same by saying calmly, I'll do my best to help, and if it's beyond my role, I'll connect you with someone who can assist further. And lastly, number 6, practice phrases in advance. If you know you'll be in a challenging situation, prepare some phrases in English ahead of time. For example, I understand your concerns and I'd like to help. Or, could we revisit this when we're both feeling calmer? Practicing these can help you feel more confident. Here's what I've learned from handling difficult people. Staying calm and composed doesn't just help you manage the situation, it also helps you grow. My experiences with that frustrated customer and demanding boss taught me to stay grounded, even when emotions were running high. And when English is involved, being calm allows you to focus on your words, avoid stuttering, and express yourself more effectively. So, the next time you face a difficult person or situation, remember, breathe and stay calm, and focus on communicating with clarity and confidence. Every challenging moment and person you encounter is an opportunity to grow stronger and more self-assured. To recap, here are 6 strategies for handling difficult people smartly. Number 1, breathe and slow down to stay calm. 2, acknowledge the other person's feelings. 3, speak clearly and confidently. 4, set respectful boundaries. 5, focus on solutions, not problems. And lastly, 6, practice helpful phrases in advance. Thank you so much for listening to today's episode. If you've had similar experiences, we'd love to hear about them. How do you handle difficult people, especially when speaking English? Share your stories and progress with us on our social media channels or drop us an email at info@myenglishmatters.com. Want to learn more about assertive communication? Our Communicate with Confidence course and Members Monthly program dive deeper into this topic and provide speaking opportunities to practice handling difficult people and situations. Until next time, keep growing, keep learning, and keep communicating with confidence. Take care and bye for now.
Thanks for listening to this episode of the My English Matters podcast. Please make sure to click the subscribe button if you haven't yet and leave a review of this podcast if you like it. If you'd like to learn even more with us, we have a free training called Speaking with Confidence where we send 7 tips to your email. You'll also get weekly emails with tips and lessons to help you improve your English. Join us at myenglishmatters.com.